Good day everyone. Today I am going to discuss about vernacular language, characteristics of vernacular language, national and official language, de facto and de jure, and pidgin. So first, let us know what is vernacular language. Is vernacular language. It refers to a language which has not been standardized and which does not have official status. The language or dialect spoken by the common people of a country or area, often used for a relatively narrow range of informal function. So when we say vernacular language, it is a language that uh, we commonly use in everyday communication. It is our native language or our first language that we use every day for sharing information, for connecting with other people, or in the process of communication. So vernacular language is narrow range because it is only used in a certain area or locality. So next, let's proceed to the characteristics of vernacular language. So first, the standard native language of a country or locality. So vernacular language is a language used in a certain country or locality. So for example, here in Bohol, so we use Bisaya. So it is the everyday language spoken by a people as distinguished from the literary language. So vernacular language is a language that is commonly used by the people to communicate every day. So third is the idiom of a particular trade or profession in the legal vernacular. Then an idiomatic word, phrase, or expression. The common non-scientific name of plant or animal, native to or commonly spoken by the members of a particular country or region. Using the native language of a region, especially as distinct from the literary language, a vernacular poet. It is relating to or expressed in the native language or dialect. So last, occurring or existing in a particular locality, endemic or a vernacular disease. So when we say endemic, it refers to something that is found particularly in a specific area or group. So vernacular language is a language that is also that can be found in a certain area. So it is not known nationally because it is kanang language which is designed in a certain area or certain locality. So next, let's proceed to a national language. So what is national language? It is a language officially designated the language of a nation or country. So when you say national language, it is a language which is that is officially designed in a certain nation or country to serve as identity of that country. So national language is meant to bind the society in order to achieve our goal to be an independent state according to Muhammad Ridwan 2018. So national language is meant to bind the society, which means that our national language help us to connect each other, to socialize each other, and to achieve the same goal as and to be an independent state. So next. So now let's proceed to the functions of national language. So first represents nation's identity, which makes it distinct to other nations. So national language helps us or serve as our identity of who we are or where we live, and it makes unique to other nations because if we have our own national language, therefore we are unique country. Second, it promotes independency, unifies the people despite the difference between regions, and performs political, social, and cultural means. So our national language serves us or promotes independency because if we have our own language, therefore we are an independent country. It also unifies the people despite the difference between regions. So for example, here in the Philippines, we have different kinds of vernacular language. Even though we have different native languages, we are still communicate with each other. It is because we have our own national language, which is the Filipino. So it performs political, social, and cultural means. In terms of political, national language used in the Senate, especially when um when the our leaders in the country kanang have speech or have speech. So in social, national language use and socialize with others, and cultural means. So national language helps the culture to share with others. Countries choose its national language by first depending on the initial language of the people that occupied the homeland. Second, depending on the language that the majority of the people are aware of and know how to enact it. So by choosing our national language, so we should know what is the language which is the majority of the people who use or understand that particular language. So for example, here in the Philippines, our national language is Filipino. So many of us know how to speak Filipino. So in that case, it is choose to be our national language, which is the Filipino, because most of us know how to or know how to speak and understand the Filipino. So to the official let's proceed to the official language. So what is an official language? It is a language that is given with legal status to use for government, states, courts, administration, and other official purposes. It is an official language could not be a national language, unlike national language is a part of official language. So official language is a language which is given with legal status, which is used for government, states, courts, administration, and other official purposes. So for example, here in the Philippines, our official language is English and Filipino. So English and Filipino are both used in the government, states, courts, administration, and even in the education or official purposes. So it is an official language could not be a national language, unlike national language is part of an official language. So an official language cannot be a national language because a national language it is serves as our own identity, nation's identity. So for example, English is not considered as our national language even though it is part of our official language in the Philippines. It is because English is not a language that is that is served as the identity of our country. So our national language is Filipino, not English. So let's proceed to the difference between de facto and de jure. So what is de facto? De facto is a language that is not legally recognized national language. It is a language that just so happens to be spoken by the majority of the country. So when we say de facto, it is a language that is not legally recognized as a national language, but it is a national language that just so happens to be spoken by the majority of the country. So it is a language that majority of the people of the country use it. Next is what is de jure. A de jure is a language that is legally recognized as a national language. This is a language that has been legally established as the national language of the country. So when we say de jure, it is opposite to de facto because in de jure, the national language is legally recognized. So for example, here in the Philippines, our own we have our own national language which is the Filipino and it is legally recognized. Next is Pidgin. Pidgin is created by words, another form of body language from one or multiple tongues to develop means of communication between two or group of speakers with no common language. So for example, sa Pidgin is kanang language nga Taglish. There is no formal language. It is a narrow range of vocabulary. So there is no kanang there's the words or the language is limited. So that should be all. Thank you.